Why did we think this would be so easy?
La 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 la.
Nah, nah, nah. Mwah, mwah.
How now, a brown cow? Yeah, loosey goosey, baby. Loosey goosey. Alright, should we start? Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Peace, Allah's mercy and His blessing be upon you all.
We are back.
Yes.
Inshallah, as better men and better Muslims, inshallah.
Definitely, inshallah. With more understanding of this world, life and Islam, hopefully.
And hopefully with a whole new generation of videos exploring that.
Yep, exploring Allah, the universe, and how we fit into this universe, inshallah, as Muslims. So, Jubair, you remember when I came to you and I asked you we should start doing these videos?
Yep.
The reason why I asked you is because I was in a trance of euphoria. I'm being serious.
Euphoria?
Euphoria.
Okay. Not drug induced, I hope.
No. What?
Edit.
Cut. And you got so happy. And it's almost like, although you were so far away from me and you left me for Leicester, which I still don't forgive you for, we were still on the same kind of wavelength in terms of our brain and our...
Yeah, I was excited
madness.
as well. I remember you came and you said, hey, let's try and do...
I don't think I said the hey part, but...
Yeah, but you definitely said, let's try and do these new videos where we ask questions and we explore things. And I moved away to Leicester, right? We both used to live in Reading. Well, used to live in Reading. I moved to Leicester, which is over 100 miles away. And so we kind of stopped doing stuff, but we still kept in touch. And when you rang me and you had this idea about these videos, it's so weird. Despite this distance between us, we were still thinking about similar kind of things where we wanted to explore questions that generally these questions weren't being asked, or at least the answers weren't satisfying, the ones that we were finding. Right?
Yeah. And it mainly stemmed from, the reason I called you, this whole idea was stemming from me over the 9 years, or however, it didn't take me 9 years, but becoming a scientist. And one of the questions that was really niggling at me was how, as a scientist, or as a modern human in modern society, do I justify believing in God? And a lot of the times I was asked these questions by people who labeled themselves as atheists. And I remember quite vividly one experience that I had with a guy who labeled himself as an atheist, asking me, do you believe in God? Because my name suggests that I was a Muslim. And I said yes. And he called me stupid.
Whoa, that's rude.
Yeah.
So what did you punch him?
No, I didn't punch him.
Okay,
I got very angry.
Yeah, we're not endorsing punching, but obviously I know this guy better than you guys do, and punching is probably like your second line of argument. After the first one fails.
In this circumstance, in this situation, I didn't punch him.
Good.
In fact, I got quite worried.
So then what happened next?
So I can't quite remember what I said, but I quite vividly remember him saying there's more of them than there are us. And I found that quite weird. And what he meant, there's more atheists out there than there are Muslims.
Okay.
But anyway, I left that and I didn't challenge him because I just thought that it was quite...
You're getting quite close to the second line of argument.
Yeah. But I went on to verify my faith in God and justify it.
Okay, so it propelled you to go and reaffirm the things that you felt were true.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I done that I was trying to do it in a very scientific way, which over the years I found out is probably impossible to verify God through a scientific method. Mm-hmm. However, there's one thing that I found within the Quran that kind of gave me that satisfaction. Mm-hmm. And that was the description of how God created this universe.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know it?
No, tell us.
It's quite astonishing what is written in the Quran in terms of that. So Allah says that the heavens and the earth were one entity until we ripped it asunder. And then he also talked about, later on, Allah talks about how Allah can expand the universe if he wills. Now that alone was enough for me to feel like God existed, because it's a very similar description to what we have in science.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory, that everything was this condensed small amount of matter until it exploded and it expanded into the universe that we know of at the moment. So that was my first kind of experience of trying to prove to myself that God exists. And over the next years, that intensified, and hopefully that is what I want to express in these videos. My experience of finding God through evidence. And you would agree, Allah says in the Quran that those who look and understand will find God, will find his evidence.
Absolutely. So, in the coming videos, what are we going to be doing? What are the kinds of things that these guys should be expecting from us?
So, I want to look at the evidence of God.
Okay, that's pretty ambitious.
I know, but we'll try it.
We'll try it.
We'll try it. I want to also look at fate, because I think that is quite an important, quite weird thing to understand.
Yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of people, even outside of the Muslim faith, even inside of the Muslim faith, they ask questions about, and I think they're not always satisfied with. So that will definitely be one to look out for.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have some ideas?
Yeah, there's loads of things that I want to explore. And just like how Abdin explained his reasons for being in this position to want to create these videos, I'll quickly share. Is it okay if I quickly tell my story? You told your story. Let me tell my story.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been many years since we created a video, and in that time, a lot of things have happened. One of the things we mentioned, I moved to Leicester. The reason.
Traitor.
Sorry, Reading. Sorry, South. Yeah, Leicester. But yeah, I moved to Leicester. Part of which was to move my family to a more Islamic environment. Now, one of the things I found in Leicester's a beautiful community, mashallah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Islamic schools are great. But the very sad thing is they're quite under-resourced. So, I was really desperately trying to put my daughter in schools where she could study the deen, but she could also learn the sciences of physics and chemistry. I mean, she's only 5, so she's not going to become a part of physicist anytime soon, but she could have the opportunity to learn these things, because our tradition is one of great minds and great thinkers. If you look at the golden age of Islam, that's when a lot of the scientific ideas that we have now and that we hold to be true were founded in those times, and by people who were scholars, no less. Now, when we say scholar, sometimes we mean alim of the deen, someone who learns hadith. But actually, in those times, a scholar was someone who also learned Latin, who also learned, algebra and chemistry. We've got to think, where do these words even come from? They're actually rooted in Arabic. So the journey to Leicester was one for the deen, and also one hopefully for learning for my kids. But I found that although her tarbiyah was fantastic, she was learning some.
What do you mean by tarbiyah?
So by tarbiyah, I mean her understanding of manners, her understanding of who Allah is and who the Prophet ﷺ is. These things were being taught to her in a very traditional way, that it was actually improving her character, which is amazing. And I have not seen that in many other environments. But the thing that she wasn't so much developing was her curiosity through experimentation or through certain types of play, because those things weren't emphasized, or even some cases they were emphasized, but the schools sadly are quite under-resourced. So I thought to myself, you know what, okay, I think I myself am finding that I want to learn more, and I want to be able to provide that learning for my daughter as well, why don't we like get together and start doing these videos where we go on a journey of learning ourselves. We do experiments, we ask questions, we talk about the things that sometimes aren't spoken about in the mainstream or even in traditional circles. Sometimes maybe because the access to the resources are not available, maybe because they're things that are taboo. But if we can do that and as a result get closer to Allah, have a better understanding of His laws and the universe that He's created, it would be a better place for ourselves, but also for the next generation, inshallah.
Inshallah. So that's the plan, and we hope that you can join us on this journey of discovery to widen your horizons, to widen your mind, to widen your understanding of, as we said at the beginning, the universe, Allah, and where we fit in as Muslims in society and this universe.
Share these videos with your friends, share it with your non-Muslim friends too, because we want to learn, but we also want people to learn with us, and that's only possible if you guys spread the word and help us out.
Yeah. Well, that's the end of the video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.